Continue with LSU senior offensive tackle Austin Deculus. We'll ask Austin to make an opening comment about the season, and then we'll take your questions. Austin, as you head into the 2021 season, just talk about what you're looking forward to in the upcoming season.
You know, ultimately just being able to get back out there, full capacity in Tiger Stadium, having the great state of Louisiana come out there, inside and outside the stadium, because y'all know Tiger Stadium got the best tailgating in the world. So just being able to make the state of Louisiana proud and just get back to it.
All right, thank you, Austin. If you have a question, raise your hand. Savannah, Riley, and AJ have microphones. We'll get one to you. We'll start right down here. We've got a couple down here in the front, so we've got a microphone on the way. So we'll go ahead and start with Ron there on the second row. Ron?
Yeah, Austin, Ron Higgins, TigerRagMagazine.com. You've been through a lot at LSU, a lot of ups and downs as far as the team play. Last year, how was it emotionally to handle last year when everything kind of went wrong for about half the season, and it's trying to get that back together, coming from a season where everything went right?
Right. I mean, you find yourself looking at it like, oh, it's 5-5, but at the end of the day, the coaches and the players coached their heart out. We couldn't ask for any more, and at the end of the day, when it comes to that, the chips just didn't fall into our hands. But we're just going to take that. We're going to take our things that we didn't do so well and just grow off of that and go into the season.
Okay, we'll stay right down here in the front row. Bob?
Hey, Austin. Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good. Hey, I was wondering, Brad Davis went from Arkansas to LSU. Wondering what your interaction with him has been like, what kind of coach you think he'll be. And then also, Ed Orgeron was talking about how he hired, these new coaches, he feels really relate well to the players. They're quite a bit younger than the guys they replaced. How have they related to you guys as a whole, would you say?
I think it's great just to bring in young guys, bring in young coaches, bring that energy in, whenever, not trying to point any fingers like at age or anything, but just whenever you have young guys, they're going to bring a little bit more energy into the room. And then with Coach Davis is going to be a great fit for us. It's always sad, it's always bad just to see your coaches leave, especially whenever I've been with mine with Coach Craig for about 3.5 years. But Coach Davis is going to do great things for us. Whenever one door closes, another door opens. With Coach Davis, you're going to get a whole new aspect, a whole new point of view of offensive line, which in many aspects could be very beneficial for us. So I think he's a very stern guy, but I think he's going to be a great fit for us.
Okay, Austin, we'll go over here to the right side on the near aisle.
Hey, Austin, Adam Luck at Kentucky Sports Radio. You're a former teammate and offensive tackle, Dare Rosenthal, is going to Kentucky.
Right.
What type of player is that program getting, and maybe what's some strengths of Dare's game?
I'm going to speak on this because Dare's my best friend. Shout out to my dog, Dare Rosenthal, because that dude's a dog. Kentucky's getting a great tackle, one of the futuristic tackles. That dude, he's tall. He's about 6'8", freak athlete. He can dunk, he can hoop. And also that goes into football. He's a great person. Football, smart, techniques there, and they're just getting the guy that can play whistle to whistle.
Okay, Austin, we're going to go right down here in front of us, in third row.
Tom Abraham, 97.7 ESPN. All right, Austin, if Sports Clips comes to you with an NIL deal, would you cut the flow for the deal?
So you're saying it's an ultimatum between cutting the flow and getting it. I would have to Sport Clips would probably have to take that up with my girlfriend because she's the main reason why I got it. So they'll probably have to talk out that contract. So.
Other questions for Austin? Raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. We'll come back up here front. Come up here to Bob in the front row.
Hey, Austin, what was it like seeing so many guys opt out last year? I mean, it seemed like you guys were losing players before the season, during the season, late in the season. And then Coach Orgeron credited you with getting the whole offensive line to come back. How'd you do that?
With guys opting out, it's all their personal preference, it's all their belief. So I don't knock anybody on their personal belief at all. That's what they do. That's what they feel the safest doing, and that's what their family wanted them to do. So I'm not going to knock that or disagree with anything they got to say. And with the offensive line thing, like I've said before, is just being able just to replicate or just not replicate because come to or just create our own culture in the room like we did that 2019 season and bounce back like we did. And it was just great just to have all those guys come back. And plus, Our starting center, Liam Shanahan from Harvard grad, he's never experienced a full LSU capacity game, so that's one of his main. I know that's one of his main reasons for coming back, but we're looking forward to it.
Okay, we'll go over here on the left aisle of the center section.
Austin, Drew DeArmond, ESPN 97.7 The Zone Radio in Huntsville, Alabama. Now that Dare's gone, it changes the room. Of course, as you said, he's your best friend. But talk about now what you're going to do at left tackle. How does it change the O-line, and does it change the expectations at all in your mind?
When it comes to offensive line, that position has always been that position to where everybody's going to be able to jump in. You know, so we're going to have people being able to like Coach O says, next man up, being able to take the ground running. And we have so many guys that are dependable in that situation. You know, everybody's ready. The coaches coach us to be ready at any point in time. And you have all those guys like Anthony Bradford, Cam Wire, Marcus Dumerville, Garrett Dellinger, all those young tackles too that just came in. And you're going to have everyone stepping up and just pushing each other just to create a better room. So.
All right, we'll go down here to our front left. Tom?
Hey, wonder if you got any props to throw out here. What are the best DNs that you've gone up against in your career at LSU?
Are we talking about at practice, or are we talking about during the game? Teammates and opponents. Best teammate, you know, our defensive core, our defensive line core is always stacked. And my freshman year I was here whenever I was going up against Arden Key as a true freshman, you know, and those Corey Thompson guys. I'm over there 17 years old going up against these dudes running 4.4s off the edge, you know. Every defensive end that I've gone up against is a very respectable opponent. They all have their things that they do better than the other. Everyone's a little bit different. So out of everything, like with that aspect, I really can't pinpoint one certain one. It's just the SEC is where you come just to, you know, make it to the next level, and it really shows with the talent that's at the end.
Yeah, Austin, Coach O talked about how you found some things as the season went along. The season didn't go as you'd like, but what momentum from some of the stuff you found later in the season can you bring forward?
Just being able, you know, one of the main things is just regardless of what situation you're in, and it goes to life, you know, whatever situation you're in, when it pertains to life, football, if you're down, you're playing in the fall, you can't see, K. York makes that impossible kick. And that's something that you could just keep on going within. And we weren't even expected to win that game. We came in, we played to the LSU standard performance, and we just did our thing. So.
All right, great. We'll take two more questions. We'll start over here on the right.
Hey, Austin, Travis Brown with the Bryan College Station Eagle. Being from Houston, how many guys are you friends with on the Texas A&M team, and how special is that game to come back in the state and maybe play against some of those guys?
You know, just throughout, I know a lot of those guys throughout recruiting, being, yeah, like you said, a Houston guy. A lot of those guys go to A&M. I stay in contact with some of them instead of the all up to the game week we play them, of course. It's always great just playing up against those guys that you played throughout high school with, and you get to see them grow just from freshman year to senior year of high school, freshman year to senior year of college. So it's always great just to see those guys and catch up at the end of the game. But, of course, just being able just to see how far they've came as a man and as a player.
Okay, we'll take one final question right here in front of us from Ivan.
Hey. Yeah, Ivan Mazel with On3.com. Austin, have you given any thought to what would you be doing without the pandemic, that you wouldn't be back at LSU? And I mean, what would your life have been like these last 6 months, and just how strange is it to be back?
My personal outlook on that, personal point of view on that is more of, I'm looking at it as more as a blessing, because it gives me another opportunity to come play for LSU, the school I've been dreaming about playing for since I was little. So I really take it as a blessing that I get to come here one more time, play another season for them, and I get to make the most of it.
All right, Austin, thank you for your time. Best of luck this season.
All right, y'all have a good one.